All thanks and praises due to the Bassis Foundation. God is most great. None has the right to be worshipped but you. That's right. Once again, it's Stepdog the Hip Hop Prophet in the house. Continuing my videos regarding the book of Revelations. Now we're going to talk about the 1,000 years. Okay, basically this is what the 1,000 years is. It's 1,000 years of the golden rule. People will follow the golden rule for over 1,000 years. The devil will have no effect on humanity for those 1,000 years. Basically, if you get out of line with the golden rule, God's just going to give you a mark. And that's going to be a sign that you were violating the rules and you're going to be dead meat. So for 1,000 years, we're going to have the golden rule. It's going to be paradise. It's going to be the greatest period of human history. Unfortunately, I get to be a part of the beginning, and that's it. Because future generations are really going to enjoy it. But it also says at the end of the 1,000 years, basically the devil's let out of the pit for a short period of time. Well, the only reason that is because people are going to know the last day is coming. And the majority of people are going to stay true to the Lord because they want to go to heaven. But you're going to have some dumb people out there who are going to think, oh, well, the last day is coming. What the hell? I might as well do this or do that. Let me have sodomy with somebody, like if it's anything good anyway. But nonetheless, that's what the 1,000 years is. It's 1,000 years of humanity following and obeying the golden rule. Basically, during that time, that's why, in my song "Time for Judgment" and whatnot, I say you're going to go over to hell. You're going to go to hell for over 1,000 years because, well, from the moment you die, and for all of that 1,000 years when paradise is going on in the world, you're going to be in hell. Now you might say, well, at least I get out of the pit after that, right? Well, you got to realize the only reason you get out of the pit is because the last day is when God destroys the earth. So the earth's not going to be here anymore. So yeah, you're going to be out of the pit with the devil just waiting for God to take God's hands and squish everything together in the end, because that's the way the universe ends. So basically, that's your end game. You know what I mean? For the idiots out there who don't want to follow the golden rule and want to get a mark on either their hand or their forehead. Basically, it's like I said in the video about the 144,000. Either you follow the golden rule or you don't and you get a mark. If you get a mark, God's going to either torture you and kill you in this life, or God's just going to torture you and leave you for the end so that Muslims of the golden rule like myself can go gather yous all up, put yous on the chopping block, and then all your heads come off at the same time. Another breakdown for you, the hellfire that Muhammad was talking about, that's just going to be piles of dead bodies stacked in mounds, and they're all going to be lit on fire as offerings to God. That's the way the bodies are going to be disposed of. You know what I mean? First you're going to get your heads chopped off. Then yous are all going to be dumped into these big bonfire type pits. And then once them pits are filled, whether it's gasoline or whatever the flammable substance is to ignite the flames, that's going to be poured on you, and then you're going to be lit up, and you're going to be burnt as an offering to the Lord. That's the end game. So, that's the 1,000 years. Basically, after that day, when everybody's heads come off at the same time, that's when the 1,000 years starts. And when it ends, God knows when it ends. God knows when the last day is going to be. And the thing about it is, in that end time, like for instance, say it's a solar flare. Science is going to know that a solar flare is heading for us. How much time it takes for it to get here and wipe out the earth, that's just an example. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's just an example of what could happen. Scientists are going to know how long it's going to take. So, that's the amount of time that the devil gets released from the pit. So, that's the story of the 1,000 years. Basically, if you follow the golden rule, and you pay your zakat, and you stay away from having sodomy or sexual relations outside of a servant agreement, for the most part, you're good to go. You're going to get to enjoy paradise, and we're going to have paradise here on the planet Earth for over 1,000 years. So once again, that's another lesson from the Book of Revelations. It's Stepdog, the hip hop prophet here, and I would like to say all thanks and praises due to the Bassis Foundation. God is most great. None has the right to be worshipped but you. Peace.